you think that AI copy is good and you don't
Mm,
understand that it looks generic because you think it's better than what you wrote. So I think that's the big thing is you start looking like everybody else. So you just have to be, it's like use it as an idea generator. Sure, if someone's created, like we've created custom GPTs, and that was my biggest fear. Like, I don't want to give them generic crap. It's not going
mm.
to help them. We have to help them, the whatever is the output, be so specific. It's way better than normally. It's way better than anything they would have written, and it makes them more irresistible to their ideal client.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful career coaches on how they built their success and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Davis Nguyen, and I'm the founder of Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, and even $100,000 weeks. Before Purple Circle, I've grown several 7- and 8-figure career coaching businesses myself, and have been a consultant at 2 career coaching businesses that are doing over $100 million each. Whether you're an established coach or building your practice for the first time, you'll discover the secrets to elevating your coaching business.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets Podcast. I'm Pedro, and today's guest is Jeanna Gabellini, a master business coach and founder of Masterpiece Coaching, who helps entrepreneurs build businesses that are both profitable and energizing. With more than 20 years of experience, she focuses on helping business owners break free from the pressure of doing more and instead transform how they think about money, clients, and success. Her work centers on the inner game of business, helping entrepreneurs shift their mindset, follow what truly lights them up, and design businesses that generate greater income, impact, and freedom. Welcome to the show, Jeanna.
Thank you for having me.
That's great to have you. I'm super pumped. And, I like to rewind a bit because we were talking, before the podcast, the recording, we were talking about how long have you been a coach for? And 30 years, right? I mean, that's a true coach, So and every coach has that moment where they look at their life and say, yeah, I guess this is what I'm doing now, right? So when was that for you?
Oh, I used to coach for a seminar company. I did not know people did this out on their own. And this is just when coaching schools were coming out, and somebody told me there was a coaching school. I said, "What? Show me something I don't already know." Well, they did. And in that first weekend seminar, I thought, "Oh my gosh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life." And here we are. I'm 30 years later. This is my 30th year. I am still as excited now as I was back then.
Yeah, it shows. Okay. And when did it shift, from I'm helping people and trying to test the waters to I'm building a real business around coaching?
Probably in the first couple of years back then, the only people who made a lot of money coaching were either, no, the only people that made a lot of coaching, even if they were corporate coaches, were people who were speakers. If you were a speaker and you were in the speaking circuit, then you made money. So as soon like a couple of years in, I thought, I don't want to be a speaker. It's not my jam. I don't want to stand on stages all day, but I do want to make a lot of money. And I see these people doing it. So I just need to like lock on in terms of decide to be that kind of person who makes a lot of money instead of, because back in the day, this is when, internet was just starting. People didn't make their money online. Now it's so easy. Oh my gosh. People are like, where do I find clients? I'm like, hello, the whole world is online. It's amazing. So
Yeah,
it got me really
that's
excited.
funny.
Well, the clients are everywhere. It's so easy now. I mean, you could walk into the grocery store and get a client. Come on.
Mm, that's true. Now let me ask you this, because that's interesting. The fact that you were the the era that was prior to the internet, and also you were not into speaking, the speaking gigs and all of that. So how did you end up finding your clients at back in the day?
Back in the day, I was just on a mission. And I think I was naively thought I was awesome and epic. And like, I can coach anybody on anything, which gave me a lot of courage. But I still say the same thing as I did back then, which is If you just find somewhere that you are willing to put your energy into and don't worry about all the millions of things, and that's what I did. I went to networking meetings and I
Mm,
found that I didn't like the big ones. I'm not a small talk person. I mean, if I'm going to talk to you, let's really talk. I'm not a like, hey, let me meet everybody in the room. That's awkward. That's not me. I am outgoing, but I don't want to just cheese it up and I don't want to be fake. So I just
mm,
found a meeting where there was like 20 people and I cultivated my relationships with those people and I filled my practice.
mm. Okay, interesting. And after you got rolling, right? Who are the people that kept showing up? The ones you realize, okay, these are my people.
I think at some point I realized my life would be a lot easier if I niched down and I didn't coach the whole world. And I was doing corporate coaching and I coached business owners. I did personal coaching as well, but I thought, even if you try to address corporate people are so much different than business coaches. They have totally different problems and desires. Who can I coach all day long? What do I enjoy talking about? Business, less red
Business.
tape. Let's go. They're more motivated. Let's go. I don't know how long ago that was. Probably like 20 years. Might be more.
Mm. Interesting. Okay, that's the coaching side, right? Business owner. So now let's talk about the part nobody escapes. And we kind of browse through it, which is marketing, right? So,
Yeah.
how do those business owners usually find you?
At this point, I am unusual, I think. I just went to an in-person seminar and it was all about launching. And everybody was there to learn like higher conversions during online launches. Every time somebody would say, oh, launches, how do you I'm like, I love launches. I hate it when I'm not doing a launch. I do. They're like, how often do you do launches? I'm like, at least once a month, if not more. To me, online launches are a way to like push free content out into the world that's super creative, super helpful. To me, it's like a big game. Not that I'm playing games, like it's a big, like, it's a challenge for me to see how many people can we impact? How can we be on the leading edge of whatever we're trying to teach and create something new, make it easier for them so that if someone even gets my free thing, they think, damn, I would have paid for this. This is so good. This is so helpful. So that's mostly where I get my clients at this point is online launches.
Hmm, interesting. That's such a different take. Okay, now let's talk business for a second, Gene. People find you, through those launches, and they resonate with your work. And eventually they want to know what working with you actually looks like. And everyone builds their coaching business a bit differently. So when someone actually becomes a client, what does that experience look like right now?
In terms of like the enrollment process or
Yeah, like their point of view. Like for example, are we talking about group coaching? Are we talking about one-on-ones? Are we talking about an online component? How do you have your
yeah,
business structured?
yeah. Well, I do have online funnels as well, which I absolutely geek out on. Think those are also fun, which is right. Everything's automated. So those are products. We get sales from that every day. But the thing that well, obviously, once you put it into action, all you're doing is tweaking. You don't have to pay a lot of attention to that, which is a great thing. So if you're listening right now and you don't have an online funnel, it doesn't matter if you're a coach or somebody else, you should have one. Just saying. I I mostly do group programs and then I don't ever really promote one-on-one, although I have a handful of one-on-one clients. Most everything I do is group, even higher level is online. I have kids. I don't want to be at in-person events. I'd rather be water skiing or snow skiing. So I just don't do those like a lot of events like that. I just want to do everything online, do my Zoom calls, change people's lives.
No, you're so to the point. I love it. And also your work seems pretty hands-on, right? We're talking about launches every month. Eventually, of course, the group coaching, the one-on-ones that you said, I'm limiting those, of course, because of capacity, which makes sense. So how do you think about keyword capacity so you don't stretch yourself too thin, and you can keep that lifestyle that you want?
I just always plan for more people than I can handle, and then I have my plan. Like right now, we're in the middle of our biggest launch of the year, and like my plan is to have a lot more people than we did last year. So I've already, called people up, coaches. Okay, you're gonna come in and help us, right? Because last year I realized, like, oh, I think I can handle it, and I thought, what was I thinking? This is
Mm.
way too many people. So it's always, to me, it's about getting help with people, but it's also getting help with systems. So one of the things that we did this year, which, I know a lot of coaches are doing, it's like, how can I take some of the work off my plate? And so we're creating custom GPTs, right? So people have automated things that will help them do some of the work. Because a lot of what I'm teaching this particular class is about, how do you be clear in your message, which is really hard for people. They feel like articulating their message and what they offer feels like a foreign language, and they get mad. Like I coach a lot of people who don't even like marketing, and now I'm asking them to talk in a more clear way. They're like, I am clear. And I said, no, what you just said your offer is about sounded like nothing. This is why people aren't saying yes. It's not clear. You're talking all around it. So, I'm always looking at how can we create a system or a structure that will help people feel like they're getting high touch and they're getting great results without it all having to be me. Like I have a membership where I thought, one of them's, well, both of them actually are strictly about mindset. And it's like everybody's always great, like when you're talking to them, like, oh my
Mm.
gosh, yes, I'm so motivated, I'm so inspired. And then 2 days later, they're watching the news and now they're depressed, or a client ghosted them. So I thought, how can I be in their back pocket without me having to be available all the time? So it's like, oh, okay, let's create daily messages for them, and they can get text messages as well as email messages. So we're hitting them everywhere. They cannot not see it, and keep them their head in the game. So that's a structure. Like they feel like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I'm getting this, and it's not me doing it. Yeah, I created it, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
structure, a system. So that's
Mm.
how I handle it.
Okay, that's interesting. And you mentioned something that I would like to highlight, which is AI, right? You've been in the game for 30 years and you've seen a lot of stuff coming in and going, and they're like, oh, my VHS, that's on my time, So you've seen the almost the internet coming to fruition, live. So what have you felt specifically towards AI in the coaching space? Do you feel like this something of a threat to coaches or an opportunity so you can adapt to your systems? How do you see AI playing out in the coaching industry?
I think it's a great tool, but at least the way that I see coaches using it, let's say lower level coaches. Well, I've even seen seven-figure coaches doing it. I think they're using it for copy a lot, and I can tell it's AI, and I don't think that's good because it looks like you don't care, and it's super generic, and it's cringy. I also think that if you don't understand messaging, you think that AI copy is good, and you don't
Mm,
understand that it looks generic because you think it's better than what you wrote. So I think that's the big thing is you start looking like everybody else. So you just have to be, it's like use it as an idea generator. Sure, someone's created, like we've created custom GPTs, and that was my biggest fear. Like, I don't want to give them generic crap. It's not going
mm,
to help them. We have to help them, the whatever is the output, be so specific. It's way better than normally. It's way better than anything they would have written, and it makes them more irresistible to their ideal client. So I just think you got to be careful. And I think people are getting a little lazy in the things that they're creating. Some people are using it correctly, but I just think that's the big fear for me is it's not going to help people. They're going to be more productive. They're going to feel like they're putting more stuff out and content into the world. But is it good? Is it really helping them get clients? Only if you really know the skills of messaging and how to create content and hooks and all that marketing stuff that nobody wants to learn.
That is so true. And whenever I'm in social media, I'm like, I can tell when it's AI. I'm not sure if everyone's like that, but I always compare it like the recent trend. It's like you're going to a sale car dealership, right? And no salesperson will tell you this is not X, this is not a Porsche, this is not a Ford, this is just X, Y. And the way it frames it is hilarious because no human being talks like that, right? It's like
Yeah.
you don't tell it what it is not, you just say what it is or to target what you want. And
Yeah.
whenever you're kind of get used to it, it makes so obvious. And by talking with GPT and once in a while, I like, hey man, stop doing that. And he's like, he cannot help himself, right? My GPT, he's like, no, I need to bring in this stuff. And yeah, but what you mentioned is hilarious. It's really easy to detect when someone is like using AI. And I think you nailed it. It's sort of it is like laziness and lack of self-awareness of what good messaging looks like. So I think you hit the nail in the head pretty solid on that. And now I'm curious, Gina, about where you're taking all this, right? Looking ahead, you're in the biggest launch of the year right now, you told me, but where do you see the business going? Are you thinking about scaling, hiring, or is there a next step you're excited about?
I'm always thinking about scaling. Uh, for years and years and years, everything's about scaling. How can we have more higher conversion with less effort? And I think a lot of that is messaging. A lot of it is creativity. I think the market has definitely changed over the last year, where I think email deliverability is a big problem, where emails are just not landing in people's inboxes more than ever. And people don't understand all the rules and how everything's changing. It's kind of like keeping up with SEO, right?
Mhm.
It's really hard for you as an entrepreneur unless you hire someone to keep up with SEO. It's just constantly changing. You can't stay on top of it. And email deliverability right now is like that. And unless you know about it, you just don't worry. And I have somebody on my team who is a email deliverability person, and she's constantly telling you can't do this. If you do that, not going to even, it won't even go to people's spam. Like, it just won't arrive. Your emails won't arrive. And we've worked so hard to attract people to our email list. And I will even tell our promotional partners who are promoting our launch, hey guys, we did a special training on this. It's an hour. We did it just for you all. You need to have your teams watch it, even if you don't watch it, because I'm watching your emails, and your emails all are full of spam. They're coming to me. I've been on your list forever and I click on your stuff. But if someone's new into your world, it's full of spam words and all these spam triggers that you don't even know about. So I think if you're not paying attention to that, you need to be. And we're just really anal about it here, to the point where it changes, unfortunately. It changes the way we even have to write. I have to replace common words I always use when I'm writing. Like, I'm always talking about marketing and offers, and these are all spam words. It's like, oh, well, it makes me more creative. So I think we're going to have to be more creative. I think, especially with AI, with not just AI, everybody's so overwhelmed with so many things. It's not just businessy things. There's just so much coming at us. And it's always been this way, but I think more than ever, how can you get to the point, and how
Mhm.
can you be so specific and personalized so that you are just being so fully you that you're comfortable and people are able to connect with your brand, even if you're not the face of your brand? How do you make it feel like, hey, I got you?
Mm.
I'm going to take care of you.
Mhm.
Um, we are, we're here for you. So I think the more people are always shocked. Like, during our launches, I'll say, hey, if you have any questions, right when we're about to close the cart, right? Like last day, if you have any questions, reply to this email. I will personally respond to you. They're like, no way. I'm like, yes way. Now, if it got super crazy, I would, I'd have a sales team or something do it. But still, it helps me understand what's happening out there with our clients and what's on their mind. And it only takes a few minutes to respond back to someone. And,
Mm.
I know that I know my business better than anyone. A salesperson could do great things, but I'm going to know the nuances because it's really sales or coaching, right?
Right.
So I think personal, anything that you can do, even if it's automated, you can make it personalized.
Mm. Yeah, and it's so easy to detect when it's not. Like if you're talking to a chatbot, you're like, okay, this is AI, right? And people run away from it. And on top of that, the email deliverability that you mentioned, it's like it's hard, right? Because if you add like just a link or a keyword, it will add to spam. So, and they're always changing the rules. And how do you going to provide context without a decent link? So it's almost like a text message from a weird friend you never met, and then you needed to start an interaction based on that. So it's really, really hard, especially with email. So I am 100% on that boat. I understand where you're coming from. And of course, whenever we're aiming towards the next chapter, there's always something we're refining in the present. So what are you currently trying to improve in your or tighten up in your business right now?
I think, especially with this launch, I've never redone something so many times. I'm just looking, it's like, even in the smallest thing, how can we make it personalized so you're just getting that one person who's on the fence? Because people want, like, here's how I feel.
Mhm.
I know based on what I'm seeing, these people need my program. And I like, oh my gosh, if you don't get it, you're not going to get more clients. And hopefully we all feel like that about our whatever we're offering. Like, oh my gosh, if they don't get this, it's going to suck for them. You want to have that much confidence in what you're offering. So if that's true, there are tons of fence people in the fence who have talked themselves out of it. So what else can we do to refine that? Like to just take them over the edge so they feel confident saying yes, whether it's a bonus that not that we have to have bonuses, but sometimes like our like they have objections and they're like, okay, this bonus absolutely covered my biggest fear. I'm going to make sure I get that because now I feel like I'm really going to get results. So just making sure that our bonuses are appropriate, that our messaging is clear. Like I might think it's super hot, but if the way I explained it is confusing, they're never going to know how hot it is. So I think one thing we're always doing is how can we refine our message to be so clear and in our client's language. And even though I think I've done that to the nth degree, there's
Mm.
always more, right? And you get a little bit of space. Like I was just doing this for a client the other day. He's like, review my sales page for this funnel. And I'd had about a month where I hadn't looked at it. He had gone and tested it. And I had like an entire page of changes. I'm like, that's because I had some space from it. And I stepped back. I'm like, we need to refine this. So I think
Mm.
we should always be refining, even if it converted well the last time you used something. We should always be revisiting everything because we're growing and evolving. We're getting to know our clients better. We need to be constantly looking at how to refine our message.
Mm, yeah, definitely. And, still refining after 30 years, Gina. I love it. Yeah, and I want to tap into your experience for a second because people listening can really benefit from this. You've been in the game long enough to hear all kinds of business advice. Some are good, some are bad, right? Let's put it that way. So, what's one piece of business advice you hear all the time that you think is overrated or misunderstood?
I think anytime somebody says you have to do this, it's like, okay, no, there's infinite ways to get the job done. I think what's most important is that us as business owners, we're always looking through the filter. I call it your soul filter. Like, what is your heart saying? Like
Mm,
maybe like sometimes we know right away. Like I remember I was watching this person in their online launch and they were talking about quizzes and how to use quizzes to attract new clients. And as I was watching, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't even know what this person is selling. But whenever they reveal it, I am buying it. I so get this. And I'm gonna be a case study for this guy. Oh
right.
my, I was like so on fire about it. Like my heart knew next year, and after every year after that, I was a case study for that guy because we made millions from using that quiz. because my heart just lit up when I saw that. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what we're going to do. I know what our quiz will be. So you need to listen to your soul filter. Experts are great. And even when the expert told me to do it this way, and he's one thing he did say, which was interesting, he's like, the way I'm telling you to do it, I know you guys want to go get creative, but do it my way first. So I did it his way first. And then my team and I refined, and increased the conversion. So it's like we knew, like felt into it, like our heart says there's an even better way. So I think that if you like something and you see how it works, you don't just like follow your heart. Does it feel good to do it exactly the same way? Or where are the parts where you're like, God, that sounds really hard, or I don't like that, or that sounds cheesy. Like a lot of times people teach things that feel, I don't know, slimy. I'm like, I can't do that. We have
Mm,
to change that part. I can't, we have to do this super authentic, super real. I can't have like fake deadlines and, we have to
mm,
play in integrity. So we're going to do it this way. So I think it's more about, and then when people say, you have to be posting all the time. Well, I don't post all the time. I email my list almost every day because that's where I feel called to. But I post on social media when I'm inspired to post on social media. And so I think that people get themselves all overwhelmed and stressed out because they think they have to do more than they really need to do. It's like pick one thing, get that thing working really, really, really good, then spread yourself out. Because people are like, oh my God, you do this and you do that. And like you've got all the like, yeah, I didn't do it all at the same time. Right? Like if I'm doing a funnel, I'm like just working on my funnel for like a few
Right.
months. I want to
right.
make it work. Everyone's looking for like, let me make the fast money. It's like, no, put your time in and make it really good. Not so it's perfect, but so that it's intentional from beginning to end. Like you've really thought about who is my client? What is that process they're going to love? And let me make this personal and let me make this really me. Because even me, even though I preach that, you start getting into like your marketing strategy and you start trying to do it right instead of, wait a minute, where's my heart? Let me put my heart into this, not just what's the correct marketing thing to check off the box here. It's like, wait, let's personalize each, let's make sure each piece is personalized. Now it's going to convert.
Right. I think the alignment that you mentioned, I think that's key, and also whenever you're in front of someone that has so much energy explaining something and so passionate about it, it's so much easier to connect, right? Sometimes I had like this type of friend that is giving me this, I'm not gonna call it dumb idea, but a wild idea. And I'm like, oh my God, what is he talking about? But I'm about to jump on that same boat. He's so passionate about it, right? So that energy, I can tell. I mean, it's something that I think it just pulls people in. I'm not sure if you agree with that.
I agree, and that's fine, but it's like do the intuitive check, everybody.
The
Because
alignment.
yeah, there's a million things that sound exciting, but is it going to be so exciting that you can like put your heart and soul into it to make it really good? Or is it just like seem like a creative idea? And then when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you're like,
Mm,
oh my God, this is work. You don't want it to be work. We want to be excited the whole way through.
yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's a mix of both, I guess. And on the other side, like, what's a piece of advice you wish more people actually took seriously?
I think there's two things. I know that people understand that mindset's important, but I wish they knew it was the number one way to attract more clients and money. Because you could have the best strategy implemented, you could have the best well laid plans. And if your doubt and fear has leaked all over it, you're going to limit the amount of people who are going to say yes to that thing. You are going to have so many tech hiccups because you are not aligned and your head is in the wrong place and you're doing it from like you're doing whatever you're doing in your business from a place of fear or scarcity, and that's never going to work. So I wish that people knew like, hey, if I want more clients, yeah, pay attention to the strategy, but double down on mindset.
Oh, I love that, Gina. And if someone listening wants to connect with you or follow your work, where can people find you and connect with you?
Yeah. If you go to moreclientsnowtemplate.com, I just told you to double down on mindset. This
Mm.
will help you double down on mindset. So you get a template and then you'll be in my world. And we have lots of content. And I think that you'll find it refreshing. A lot of people say it's a relief because I'm giving you permission to not do all the things. And really, if you follow your heart, it's never going to double cross you. Never. It will never lead you astray. And that's a great feeling because you can use your heart as your indicator. Does this feel good? Does this feel exciting? Or does this feel hard and like cumbersome? And because that's an indicator, right? Of like, maybe I should pivot or away from that if it doesn't feel good, or maybe I need to rethink the whole structure of this thing I'm about to step into.
Definitely. And there were a few things you shared today that really stayed with me. I would emphasize the double down mindset, first of all things, because I think that's aligned with two things you mentioned today. First one, when I asked about your origin story, you're like, I'm on a mission because I'm epic, I'm awesome. So you can see the mindset, you can actually feel it. There was not a shred of doubt about what you were going to do, and the simple fact that you said you love lunches, that's a statement of someone who's not in scarcity mindset, because I think people more often than not, they're afraid of launches because they're like, oh, is anybody going to like me? Is anybody going to take
Right.
what I'm offering? Will anyone show up? And that's scarcity mindset. And you're not, you're like, I'm going to launch something cool. People will love it. Let's go for it. And that's abundant mindset. The abundancy, that I think that's a testament of your experience for the past 30 years. So I also love the fact that you said, you told us a secret. You should have an online funnel. I think that's funny. And I think overall, the certainty on how to deliver, and what you're looking for, the message, the AI talk we had, and especially, I'm going to pinpoint one quote that I'm going to steal from you, which is, I've heard in different ways, alignment and whatnot, but soul filter is something I haven't heard yet. So I'm taking a note out of it. I appreciate you sharing. Okay. I appreciate what you do, Gina. I appreciate you being here and sharing so openly today. Okay. It was great having you on.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode of Career Coaching Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode to catch future episodes. This podcast was brought to you by Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, or even $100,000 weeks, all without burning out and making sure that you're making the impact and having the life that you want. To learn more about our community and how we can help you, visit joinpurplecircle.com.